I mean,
Yeah.
I left East Tennessee because I was stealth, and I was going bananas being stealth down there. My softball teams that I played with, after I played with the K-Town Softball League, I moved over to women's softball, and I kept my mouth shut about it, Kara. 100% I kept my mouth shut when I played on traveling women's softball teams. We'd go to Florida, we'd go to everywhere, and I was a loner because I didn't want people to know the truth. Not because I was ashamed of who I was, but because I was afraid of what would happen.
Right.
And I moved here to Massachusetts, and I say, you know, I'm not going to be stealth anymore in the disc golf community. The heck with it. And I go up to my friends on my disc golf team, and I go to the league, and I say, I am transgender. And they go, we've already have someone that has blazed the pathway for you, Kelly. And that was you. Now,
Yeah.
when they say blaze the pathway, they've got a perception of it on their side, and then you've got your side of the perception of what blazing the pathway meant. Would you like to share that?
Right, sure. So, I mean, a similar experience to you. I still spend most of my life assuming a stealth role. You know, most oftentimes I'll, jump to just telling someone that I'm cis rather than even break the subject at all. But you have been such a good friend in helping me, come out of my shell a lot. But yeah, back in the day when I was first transitioning, I was into disc golf. So to be true to self and honest, I wanted to play with women. So I started competing, and there was a couple of tournaments where I was able to, state my case why I should be playing against other women in that category. And where they had no previous point of reference for anything, outside of the gender binary, they had no point of reference to understand where I was coming from. So it started, a lot of discussion in the community in New England, and it even spread across the country through some other forums. But yeah, I just kept standing up for, who I am as a person. This is how I'm going to play disc golf. So, eventually it's worked out. Mostly I'm accepted, on any disc golf course, and, people understand that I'm, just a person who plays disc golf, and they don't talk to me much about my trans identity, understanding that I don't talk about it much.
Right, yeah, I mean, and that's what I like about you too. You and I are totally different on the way I scream it to the world that I'm transgender, and you're like, I'm a disc golfer right now. That's what I am. I'm not
Yep.
a transgender disc golfer. I'm a disc golfer. So I like that we approach it from two different angles, because I think it gives a much broader perspective to the community about what we are and who we are. Because literally, I didn't have to do anything to be accepted in the community up here because of you. I mean, truly, it was a piece of cake for me, Kara.
Wonderful.
I mean, and I don't even know how I'll ever repay that to you, that bit of goodness that you did, because I only hear from you and from other people. I wasn't living in New England when this took place. I was in East Tennessee battling my demons of silence and everything I was going through. And for you to continually say, this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am to them, is one of the bravest things that you could have done. And there's going to be some kid that's going to come along behind you and I that's trans, and they're not going to have any problem in New England disc golf because you blazed the pathway. I've come along to reinforce what you've blazed, and it's going to change everything. And I kind of consider you an activist. Before I met you and I heard your story, I'm like, this person here is an activist. This
Yeah,
person here wants
I've
to
taken
go
that role
change
on.
this world.